Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking all about gluten and dairy free and how to do it on a budget. If you're new here, then hit subscribe, stick around because I often talk about gluten free, dairy free and different gut health. Being gluten and dairy free can be really expensive, but there are definitely things you can do to make it a lot cheaper. So I'm going to share some tips with you. So my first tip would definitely be to download cashback apps. Cashback apps such as Shopperman and Checkout Smart are really easy ways to save money. My favourite is definitely Shopperman, which I'll link to below. That has a dedicated free from section and it's really simple. You simply scroll through. If you see a product that you're going to buy anyway, you make sure you keep a copy of your receipt, you take a photo of it, you snap it, and then you'll receive that money back within 48 hours of putting your submission. Sometimes you'll receive all the money back, sometimes you'll receive 50%. It kind of depends what the promotion is at the time, but it can be a really good idea. Shopperman has a dedicated free from section, and examples that are, I'll put some screenshots on now, but you can get Amy's Kitchen 50% off ready meals, so you just buy it at full price, you scan and you'll get 50% of the payment back in your bank account. They've got Wow Chia vegan smoothies, that's on full price, so you'll buy it and you'll get the whole amount back, making it free. So it's a really good idea to download. There are a few other ones such as Checkout Smart, but I think Shopperman would definitely be my top tip. My next tip would be to use sites like Money Saving Expert, latest free stuff, latest deals, all different sites to kind of download coupons and free products. So there's often coupons for free bottles of dairy free milk, for example. Money Saving Expert, say hello to my dog. Money Saving Expert sends a weekly newsletter out, so that is full of coupons as well. So don't be afraid to find coupons. Sometimes they're on the brand sites directly, sometimes you can find them on the sites I've mentioned previously. Download them and take them along to your weekly shop, and that can really make a difference. The third tip then for saving money is to use specialist sites. So Approved Foods and Love Health Hate Waste are both sites that sells you things that are over the best before dates. Obviously things like gluten-free pasta, gluten-free cooking sauces, you can eat them after the best before date, unlike things like chicken where they've obviously got a clear expiry date. So Approved Foods is a more well-known version of this, and you can just log on, and there's some great discounts at the moment. There's some gluten-free cooking sauces that are 2 for £1 instead of over £1 per cooking sauce. There's some Bounce Energy vegan balls which are less than £1 and they're usually closer to £2, and they're just slightly over their sell by date. Love Health Hate Waste is a healthy version of that, so that's probably better because there's way more gluten-free selection on there. So you go onto that site and they've got everything from reduced supplements to they've got kombucha for 84p instead of £3. They've got 9 bars at 30p, so really good bargains. You'd need to buy a few to get to qualify for the cheaper delivery, but they're definitely worth the stocking up. When you're out shopping, my next tip would be to head to places like Aldi, Lidl and B&M, and I'll try and include some footage now of a recent trip to B&M and Pound World, and you can get some really good bargains. For example, I got gluten-free pasta for 69p from B&M Bargains. B&M Bargains and Pound World had a good range of gluten-free biscuits for £1, gluten-free cookies, gluten-free digestives and so on. So some really good bargains can be had there. Aldi and Lidl, it does depend on your store, but they are having a range, widening their range, and the pasta in particular and the bread can be much cheaper. My next tip would be to try and make the most of all your ingredients. So for example, if like me, there's only one gluten-free person in your household, freeze things. With bread, you can use blitz it up and turn it into breadcrumbs, and you can use that for like my gluten-free chicken Kiev recipe, which I'll link below. So try and use bread in multiple different ways to kind of make sure you don't waste any. There's some different sites that might be useful, such as Love Food Hate Waste, and also I like the cooking on a bootstrap, I think it's called, which I'll link below, which is basically meals, and it's got a dedicated gluten-free and a dedicated dairy-free and vegan section. They're ordered by their price, so you can see how much it costs per portion, so that can be really good. They rely usually on naturally gluten-free foods such as like lentils and pulses, and they can be really great to bulk out things and be a cheaper. And my final tip would definitely be to make the most of introductory offers. So if you're new to being gluten-free and a celiac, you can get a completely free taster box by Juvella and Glutafin, and I'll leave the links to those below, and they send you a completely free box just to introduce you to their brand. Otherwise, it's still worth looking at recipe box. One of my favourites is definitely Simple Cook. They send you the herbs and the spices and the stocks, and then you use your own raw ingredients. So that can be really, really cost efficient. Sometimes when they've got a discount on, which they have at the moment, it's 50% off your first box, I think. I'll leave that below. Then it can be much cheaper, and it literally comes in the servings you need, so you don't need to buy big quantities of gluten-free soy sauce or gluten-free stock, for example. The recipe boxes that are worth a try are Mindful Chef, which are also gluten-free and dairy-free and sometimes vegan. They often have an introductory discount as well, which I'll leave below if I can find a code. What I'll do is I'll log in and set my next delivery for like a month or so that gives me plenty of time to decide if I'm going to keep the box. I hope that's really useful. I've linked lots of resources in the down bar below, so go and have a look at that. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for more gluten-free chat. Bye bye.